Alright guys, we're out here in the woods. Let me start by thanking Jared. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm not even going to try to. But I want to thank you for becoming a Patreon. I appreciate it, and you'll be happy when you get your cons, I promise. Alright, anyway, we're out here in the woods, and this is some old work. And you see all this gravel right here? There's piles of gravel all I've showed you in a lot of videos. They're all over the woods. But what they did is this hillside we're at, I'll show you a picture of it in a second. They took and blasted it with water. And they dug troughs down toward the, downhill, and they would dig pits in the ground. You can see right there where they blasted the hill. They would stand there, and you can actually see how it sort of rounded, where it looked like they just went back and forth. But what they was getting is this gravel layer, and they'd run it down these little trenches, and they'd dig holes. And here's one of the holes. It's hard to see because of all the leaves. But there we go. That's one of the holes. And what they do is dig those holes out because those holes would catch the gold. Once they dug those out, they'd just pan through that and get their gold. Well, what we decided to do is get up on top of there, and which is hard to get down in there anyway because it's pretty wet down in the bottom here. So we're up on top of the hill, and we're going to dig. There's the hillside right there. That's one of them. There's like two of them. There's one that's on up a little bit further. But what we're doing is we're digging into that hill, trying to find what they were getting. We really don't know exactly what they were doing other than washing the hill, getting the gravel. So we decided we're just going to look at it and see what we can find. If we start where they left off, we should be able to do pretty good. Because when they left here, they didn't leave because they didn't find any gold. They left because they couldn't get supplies. But here I am. I'm down the hill now looking back up the hill, and he's up above it digging. You hear there's roots, and there's so much stuff everywhere. Alright, here's where we got started. Here's some of the good stuff right here. This is the very top of the layer. We'll do a test from here. There you can see the rocks with the quartz in it. And when we start seeing the real different colors like your reds and your purples and even black, you know you're in a better place. There's our little panning station we set up. Here's the first screen. And you can see what the rocks look like. They're really good rocks. But there's just tons of quartz all in it. I want to find some good specimens. I haven't found the first specimen yet. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know. I just been wanting to find one. But here's that first pan. There's a few little pieces in there, not much. But that's the start. We was on the top of the layer, too. So you really wouldn't expect much from the very top. Now listen to when this bucket goes through. You'll hear it hit the rocks. That's what we listen for when we're digging. Hear that rock? It's just full of them. That's what we look for. Usually when we find those rocks down at the bottom, there's the better gold. Sometimes we find good gold in the middle and on top. It's crazy. I don't understand it. There's where I use the shovel and that's the bottom of the layer right there on this little hole. Below it's clay, above it is rock. Just gravel. You'll hear it. Hear that? Down here it's all clay. Yeah. Hear how quiet it is? So there's down in the hole pretty good. Here's our second pan. So we got a little bit better gold. Some little flaky pieces. And basically that's all we're doing is just following it, just looking. I'll run it with my metal detector, and usually I'll get a hit on the metal detector when I get in a good mineralized place. It don't ever tell me a number. Now mine's a Garrett AT Gold. It don't tell me a number, but it'll still say zeros, but you'll hear the tone will change. And it'll go off. So you can tell you're in mineralized ground. And that's usually the best place to look.
That's real fine gravel right there.
There's our hole we're down in. I'll show you some of the rocks here.
Bigger gravel on this side. On this side.
There's some of the purples we look for.
Get some right off the top of that clay layer.
That's that purple rock I was talking about. It's so pretty. But that's the good stuff. Here's our last test. Now, that is combined with the other two tests. So all of that didn't come from this test, but that's not bad. I ended up pouring it off in there, and there you go. But guys, I'll get some more videos coming. I appreciate y'all.